Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to be continuing work on the red Bolens 1253. Now in the last video, you may remember, we switched out the tyres on the rear because one of them had exploded and they were pretty rotted as well and worn down. So we put these nice spare ones that we found that match nicely to the front tyres. However, something we didn't show you in that video was the inner tube from the tyre that had exploded. So you can see there where it had popped and come to pieces. This isn't actually that old of an inner tube, so it's a bit surprising that it popped, but still. Now that is obsolete. Now on to what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to aim, by the end of today, to have fitted the spare lift lever, which has been sitting on this track for ages, needing to be put on. And we're going to put on this spare PTO that we found, which matches the chassis and steering colour quite well, because this didn't have a PTO on it when we got it. And of course we got some PTO bolts to go on there as well. Let's get cracking. So we will start with the lift lever. We've already taken the bolts off to hold this part to here, which when that's on there normally, as I'll show you on the red Bolens 1054, because I can't show you on the G12 because it's got a hydraulic lift kit on. You can see there's these bolts that we've already taken off. Then the rod goes through this slit here, or slot here, and these two kind of sandwich this plate here. It pivots on a bolt down here. And of course the rod moves up and down from the button at the top where the operator controls it and can then slide it between the notches. Now if we go back to the other one, so the plate would be in here. However, first we need to actually get this on here, which as you can see there's no opening for it to go in at all. So we're going to have to take this apart. You can see this part that goes around here is welded onto here. So there's no way of moving these apart to slide them on there and then pushing them together again. So what we've decided that we're going to do is we're going to try and move the rod out a bit. So you can actually undo the rod end here, which we already loosened a bit, which has this rod end and the spring, and then the rest of the rod. So what I can do now is I can extend this, like so, and that will help us get it on there with the different parts. But before we do any of that, we're going to clean up all of the different parts and take it fully apart. We got everything apart and cleaned up now, and you can see we put some grease on the mating side of this where it will go sliding across here. So to put this on, which we're going to do next, it's held on by this bolt that goes in that way through a hole in the chassis back here. Not sure if you can see. Under there somewhere, that's in line with this bolt here. So this will just go through there. Then this plate will be on this side, and it has a thread in this hole where this will thread into. But to do this, firstly you have to move the steering all the way over to the left to give us some space behind the chassis to actually get the bolt in. Okay, now there's quite a bit of space around this bolt up here, or the bolt hole up there. So what we're going to do is we'll put this on with the thing there, and there's this lock nut that goes on the other side of it. We'll put the bolt through and start to thread it on, and then we'll show you where we're up to. Right, so we've caught up to where I told you about in the previous clip. Now to get the bolt in there, we actually had to turn the steering to the central position. just to get it in the hole, and then turned it to the left so that we could actually get it in further. So because there's a thread in here, hopefully if I hold the bolt head behind and then turn this, you can see the thread on the bolt doesn't turn, but this does. And then if I let go of the bolt head, I can move it back, and the bolt moves with it so it isn't tightening or loosening. Now ideally you would have a 3/4 ratchet ring, but the closest thing we have to that is an offset one here, which offset one doesn't really fit back there. So I'll just keep on going with this until it's tight enough. We've tightened that part up now, and we've got the lock nut on. Now to put the rest of the lever on there, which first we need to partly assemble this bit. Put that on there up to about there. And put this behind. If I can try and get them so like the holes there to line up with these bolt holes, then we'll just bolt that back together, and that's it. So I'll get my cameraman to help me with this because it's probably a 2-person job, and we'll see you on the other side. We've put this on now. We haven't put the lock nuts on yet because obviously, I'm not sure if we mentioned before, it's threaded in this panel for the whole layer as well. So what we're going to do now before we put the lock nuts on there is we're going to put the like button bit on the end of here, which I'm going to get my cameraman to hold this up so I can screw this in if he's fine with multitasking.
Blimey, 2 things at once, I'm not sure. Right, here we go.
Right. The noise you can hear is the spring that's in the handle.
We did grease it though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right, do you want to try it?
Works all right. Now to finish off this job, we've put a split pin back here, which you can't even see with the camera, but it's basic, or you might be, it's back here, which basically it's on the other end of this rod to keep it in there and make sure it doesn't come out. Now on to the next job, which is fitting the PTO. So the first thing we're going to do, using this tap, is to clean out all of the threads in the bolster that the PTO mounts to. We've cleaned and greased the PTO now, and we've also cleaned the splines, although we won't grease them until we've got it on the tractor, because then we'll just end up covered in grease. We've also undone the bolts holding on the PTO belt cover. Here, there's 2 of them. This is so we can slide this back and we can put the belts over. However, we're going to put the belts on the top end first, on the pulley on the engine, so that when there's both of them dangling down from about that height, when we try to put the PTO on, we can put one bolt through here onto a tractor, and while it's not fully on, half of it will be cradled by the belt. So to put these belts on, you have to take the drive belts off, annoyingly, which are here. Can't really see. There you go. there's 2 drive belts. You have to take them off and the PTO belt cover off. Then that enables you to slide the belts over and onto there, which, as I said in the previous video, the PTO on this tractor has 2 belts rather than the one that some tractors had. Now we've got the PTO belts on, and we've actually jumped quite far ahead because there was a couple of RAF fighter jets that went over and looked like they were dogfighting a bit, or dogfighting practice over our house, and the noise was so loud that you couldn't actually hear us speaking on video that we tried to take. So we've got all the belts on now, and this is what we meant by it cradling it and helping for when we try and do the bolts up. So time is running out a bit, so we're now going to quickly do up all of these bolts to mount it onto the tractor. We've now tightened up all of the bolts on the PTO, which that is the belt cover and holding it onto the tractor, and you can see the bolts there as well, all perfectly in position. And of course, not forgetting the lift lever that we did earlier in the video. Obviously neither of these things help towards getting the tractor working, but the lift lever we've been tripping over for years, so that's nice to get that on there, not just sitting on there. And the PTO will make it better when we hopefully do get this working. But that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Please subscribe to my channel, like this video and see our other videos. More to follow as we do more on this tractor. Bye!